For most people around the world, Friday the 13th is the most sinister day possible. Even there is a medical name for it. Although the day was designed as a superstition, there were a number of scary and disturbing events. If this is the first time you have come to our channel, we would love you to join our channel and subscribe to our bell to receive notification when we upload a new video. Check out our chart for top 10 most fearful things on Friday 13th. The end of the world. According to forecasts, on Friday 13, 2029, the asteroid 99942 Apophis, with a diameter of 320 meters, will pass dangerously close to the Earth. According to NASA scientists, it is large enough to survive its passage through the Earth's atmosphere. If it falls on the ground, it could destroy a region with the size of Texas. If it falls into the ocean, it can cause a consistent tsunami waves. Murders. One of the most famous and brutal murders in New York occurs on Friday the 13th, March 1964. Kitty Genovese was attacked by the abuser and raped by the freak Easton Moseley. 38 people were witnesses, but no one called the police. The case is known as the side-by-side effect, when people do not respond in a situation assuming that another will. Another famous murder was on a 25-year-old prostitute Frances Coast on February 13, 1891, which became the last victim of Jack the Thief. Friday, September 13, 1996 is a black day for the hip-hop. Rapper Tupac Shakur died in a hospital in LA from his wounds he received on September 7. Car crashes. Friday 13 is indeed a day of bad luck for drivers, according to the road accident statistics. An analysis of the insurance company Norwich Union for 6 Fridays 13 events that occurred between 2002 and 2006 shows that claims for compensation on that day were precisely within 13% more than in other days. Natural disasters. On November 13, 1970, one of the most catastrophic natural disasters that humanity has ever witnessed occurs. Due to its devastating proportions, no one has accurate information about the victims, but it is confirmed that they are between 3 to 500,000 people. It is happening in Bangladesh, and it's the most lethal hurricane for which information is available. The survivors say that they have survived the end of the world. The Apollo 13. On April 13, 1970, an explosion of an oxygen tank confused the plans of the Apollo 13 shuttle to land on the moon. The shuttle was fired from missile number 39, which is 13 by 3. The crew survived the miracle and returned to Earth. Numerology lovers clearly see a black leak, the sum of the numbers of the launch date of the rocket spelled out in the United States 4/11/70, which makes 13. The launch time of Apollo 13 is 13 minutes US time. Hanging Day. Friday was called Hang Day because it was customary to punish criminals on that day. The steps to the scaffolds were exactly 13, as were the verticals of the knot of the gallows. Interestingly, the executioner's payment was also exactly 13 pence. As for the hangings, the American pirate Albert Hicks was hanged Friday, July 13, 1860. He admitted that he had killed more than 100 people in his life. Airplane crashes. The most devastating plane crash registered on Friday 13 happened in October 1972, when a plane crashed in the Andes. On the spot, 12 people are killed and others find their dead in the ensuing avalanche. Before being helped 72 days later, the survivors were forced to eat carcasses. The incident was imprisoned in the 1993 movie Living. Fatalism. The fear of the number 13 is strong to this day. More than 80% of the skyscrapers do not have a 13th floor. Many airports miss the 13th runway. Few hotels are without a 13th floor or room 13. In Formula 1, there is no car with number 13. Streets in Florence do not have a number 13. 12.5 or 12A sounds rather shaky. According to the laws of the US state of Indiana, On Friday 13, all owners of black cats should put their pets on the street only if they put a bell on their collar. Templars. According to historical facts, October 13, 1307 remains an extremely sinister day in history. Then, at the behest of the French King Philip IV and Pope Clement V, Jacques de Molay, the Grand Master of the Templars Order, and thousands of knights of the order were arrested. Being subjected to horrendous torture, they made confessions on charges of the heresy, sodomy, and any other crimes. Hundreds were burned at the stake, others were executed later. From that day on, Friday the 13th was considered a bad and unlucky day by the order's followers. According to one version, Friday has a bad reputation because it was on this day that Jesus Christ was crucified. In total, 13 people are present at the mystery supper of the Son of God, he and the 12 apostles. To this day, many people believe that 13 people do not sit together. The traitor Judah comes last, on the 13th. Another version of the bad fame of the number 13 comes from a Scandinavian myth. 12 gods celebrated at Valhalla, the home of the god Odin, the weak god of heavy and fire. Loki invaded the party as the 13th guest and slew the deadly arrow with the mistletoe of god of joy Balder. The earth was sunk in mowing. Shipwrecks. There is more recent evidence that this date is indeed ominous. On December 13, 1907, the American seven-mast schooner, which was one of a kind, sank off the Channel Island in the English Channel. The ship is named Thomas Lawson, named after its owner, the American businessman and writer Thomas Lawson. His most famous work is Friday the 13th. On January 13, 2012, on the shores of the island of Giglio, in the Mediterranean Sea, following the collision with an underwater reef, a 115-ton Italian cruise ship called Costa Concordia sank. The victims of the crash are 32. 13 has a bad reputation because it comes after the number 12, which is considered divine. It is found almost everywhere. 12 apostles, 12 Jewish tribes, 12 Ace of Muhammad, 12 hours, 12 months, 12 zodiacal signs, 12 Olympian gods. In ancient Rome, sorcerers gathered in group of 12 because they believed that the 13 was the devil himself. In tarot cards, the 13 is death. In some cultures, such as Spanish, however, it is not Friday, but Tuesday is a bad luck. In Greece, Tuesday was considered a day controlled by war god Ares. The conquest of Constantinople by Ottoman invaders take place on Tuesday, May 29. Thank you for being with us. If you have not yet subscribed to our channel, you can do it from the red subscribe button. Also, ring the bell to receive all new uploaded videos immediately.